Hi everyone.
It's the Browns.
And today we are going to be talking about
Cake.
cake. I love cake.
All kinds
You
of
like
cake.
cake?
All kinds of cake.
I love me some cake.
I think about all the ingredients that go into cake. You take all that time making cake.
Yeah.
Now that just coming to me, baby. You know, when you think about whenever somebody does create a cake, all the ingredients you have to have, the recipe, how long you bake it, how well you mix it up. It takes a lot of time to make cake. It's just like a relationship.
Yeah.
And before you can eat it, you gotta bake it. You gotta mix it.
Yeah.
You gotta make it work. So, you know, when you think about it that way, you gotta say what type of ingredients are you putting in the cake.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I think about it that way, then I go, okay, in relationship wise, what do we have? Communication.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's one of the
That's
biggest
like
things.
Top. Yeah. That's like the very top.
Yeah. Then faithfulness, devotion to each other,
Affection.
honesty.
Yeah.
Gotta have
Love.
honesty. Yes, love.
Unity.
So it's like what type of cake you're gonna have. If it's just a friendship, then it's a plain old angel food cake.
You know,
Or
angel food. Yeah.
no icing.
No
Yeah.
icing.
Then that's just a friendship.
Yeah.
But then if you get a little bit more serious, might add a second layer or
Pound cake.
a pound cake.
With a little ice and
That
a little-
takes time.
Yeah, a little ice. Yeah.
Pound cakes are expensive. You invest in a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because not only do you have to think about buying the ingredients or making them or whatever, you also got to think about where you get the money to buy them from. So you got to get a job to get the money to buy the ingredients to make a cake. A relationship is real complicated that way. So, so when I think about that now, I'm like, yeah, pound cake can be pretty expensive.
Pound cake,
Yeah, and all those cakes, you eat those different cakes as you grow through life. The bigger and bigger cakes till you get to that wedding cake. Hint, hint.
I love wedding cake. It doesn't matter what wedding you go to, that wedding cake is always so good.
I wonder how it tastes when it's yours. We'll see. Oh my goodness. But we act silly a lot of times, so that's just the way we do.
Yeah.
We're trying to just be relaxed with each other and record this because we know that God has given us a special relationship, so we can share with other people
Very special.
how we look at things. And symbolic, when we talk about a cake, it can be so many things. One of the biggest things that we've learned to talk about when it comes to cake is as we mature and get older, some people base it on age, that you can think that you can have all the cake you want. Matter of fact, you have a story about that.
Yes, I do.
That's where we get this from.
This is where we get the cake thing from. When I was a little girl, now I love cake. Like almost any kind of cake. German chocolate is like my least favorite.
Okay.
But I do love cake. And my mom, she would always, when we had dinner, she always had dessert. Most of the time it was cake. She's a great cook and everything. And so my sister and I, whenever we would go get our slices, we would cut like real thin slices first and eat that. And then we'll cut our regular slices. And I remember one day thinking like, man, I can't wait till I'm an adult and I can eat all the cake I want.
All the cake I want.
So now I'm grown.
All the cake you want.
All the cake I want.
And there's a problem, just like with the natural body. It's a problem. You eat too much cake.
Yes, it is a problem.
The sweets in the cake there can cause weight gain, cavities.
Yes, different health problems.
Yes,
diabetes. And things. Just overconsumption. It's not good when we over partake in anything. So, you definitely want to be careful with your cake consumption.
Yes. And there's a time to eat cake and there's a time not to eat cake.
Yes.
Just like a wedding cake, you don't eat it until after the wedding.
Yeah. Right. That's right.
Yeah. Kind of hint to relationships again. Abstinence that we practice.
Yes.
And there's a blessing in that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Just letting it flow, baby.
Yeah.
How we always talk and things just
Yeah.
keep coming out.
Yeah. That's what I love about our relationship. You know, we get on the phone or we're together and just sitting around, and you know, it's not hard for us to communicate. I love that. It's everything just flows, and we have a great time with each other. And so, yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little bit distraction by all this fine. Anyway, back to the cake.
Back to the cake. Of course, we haven't partaken of our cake that we've been building.
We have not had any cake.
No cake, no cake.
I love cake, y'all.
Oh, I love cake too.
We love cake.
Yeah, and that's a card. One of my first videos, we talked about cards that match. And one thing that matched with us is attractiveness to the opposite sex, which you know, I desire a certain type of woman, and this is that type of woman. And I love her. I love her from my heart, and physically, I desire her. So that card matches. So that's something that we would do if we are alone, too long in the wrong place or the right place at the right time.
Yeah, the right place.
So that would happen. But with the other card that we have to match is that we want to be obedient to God's word.
Yes.
And we had that card before we met, and practicing abstinence and doing it God's way, waiting on marriage before we eat our cake after the wedding. We actually have that matching card, so
yes,
we're able to support each other and be strong for one another when one or the other is weak.
Right.
And I get weak a lot around her. I get so weak
Maybe
around
weak
her.
in the knees. You make me feel alright.
That's why I love her. Oh my God. People talking about I'm crazy.
See, our crazy cars match.
I'm a crazy card match too. So you want to make sure you find somebody your crazy cards match also.
Gotta match.
Yes, yes. I think one of the rules in Dr. R.A. Vernon, he actually has a book called 10 Rules of Dating, and his first rule is that you have that physical attraction.
Yes.
You know, that card has to match.
Yes.
To have that attraction, and I'm going to call that one of the first ingredients of our cake. That's the book we're going to have to write.
Yes.
We're going to build a cake.
Yes.
Oh, then after the wedding.
Don't be trying to take our little.
No,
don't try
with
to take our
that.
business.
Well, matter of fact, we have to write that before we.
Yeah, before we
post it. So this is the delayed broadcast. But so one of the first ingredients is that physical attraction too. Yeah, and that takes time. So we're doing the steps. We're taking the time. We fell in love pretty quickly because we matched so well with each other.
Yeah, we had I was gonna say something, but you know how my words always sound like something else.
Don't be careful.
I'm not gonna
Be
say.
careful. Oh God, don't do that.
We have to tell you that story.
I know.
At a later date.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But anyway,
I'm recorded.
yeah, our cards. We have a lot of cards in our stack. I'll say. I'll use that word.
Okay,
Stack.
I like that. Yeah.
That match.
Yeah.
You know, we're both funny, and you know, both attracted to each other. Both love God. Yes, and we both love country music.
Yes, believe it or not.
That was actually one of the things
Yes.
that drew him to me. He found out that I love country music. He's like,
Yeah, it was real big for me because
Yes.
I like all genres of music.
yeah,
I'm a drummer myself. Grew up playing gospel, listening to everything. Played some contemporary jazz, little stuff like that. A couple of different bands. And the thing I realized, music connects people.
yeah,
So you kind of gotta like the same kind of music. So that's another card that needs to match, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm really big on being non-prejudiced.
yeah,
When you love God, that's one thing. If you don't already have it, you need to work on is being able to love everybody as they are, who they are,
Yes.
without prejudice. So one of the signs I said, how will I know if the woman I'm with is not prejudiced? And something came to me. Yes, I'm attracted to the black woman, and the thing I realized is that I don't know too many that love country music. If she loves country music, she can't be prejudiced. that's something I really wanted because I wanted somebody who could go with me anywhere, anytime, live music, restaurants, whatever. Definitely church, and be comfortable and not have
Yes.
prejudice about somebody's skin color
Yeah.
or the nationality where they're coming from.
Yeah.
I want to be open like that so that we can love on everybody. And she won't be looking at me like you just smiling too much at everybody. You know, I want her to have that same spirit, and that spirit, of course, is the Holy Spirit of God, and I wanted to be able to share that with her. And that country music was something I think God gave me to say, and she loved country music. Being, guess what, you know.
And it's funny too because I was talking to a guy before. It wasn't anything real serious, but you know, we were just kind of getting to know each other. And every time we were in the car together, he had his radio on a satellite station, and you know, it was a certain type of music. And finally, I asked him one day. I said, it was a white guy, and I asked him. I said, "Do you like country music?" He said, "No." And I promise y'all, God is my witness. I felt at that time like this is not gonna work out. Because I love country music, and sometimes when I'm in the car, that's what I want to listen to.
Yes.
And so, man, it was amazing to find somebody so fine and it has such a heart for God and so genuine. And you know, he's such a gentleman and everything. And you know, to love country music and stuff, you know, I'm thankful that those two cards matched, and all the other cards that we have. You know, we lay our cards out on the table. When we play that little matching game, it's like, we are winning.
Well, yeah,
we are winning.
Truly. And that's why our relationship seemed to go so fast for us, where we thought we were in the first year of 6 months, and it only been 2 months or 1 month. 1 month felt like 3. It was amazing how quickly we were just talking all the time. You know, you have somebody you talk to on the phone, and you get to where you realize you want to get off. You know, you're talking to them, and you're like, okay, it's going too long, or you don't answer the phone or something like that. I don't feel that. I don't feel that with you, baby.
I never want to hang up the phone.
Yes.
Even when I know he has to go to work the next day.
Yeah,
I'm
gotta
like,
go to sleep.
I just want to talk to my baby.
Yeah. But that's where we at. We really are. And understanding that it's a process, it's a journey, and we're on a journey together.
Yes.
One of the things that we were blessed to be able to teach a Tuesday night Bible study one time, and we were able to talk about this cake, you know, and able to talk about how God has blessed us through being obedient to His Word, and the things we were able to share. You know, we want to be able to share with everybody else too. Just like on video now, we want to talk about these things. We won't be able to put it all in this one video tonight, but we will be able to carry on later on, part after part, and add to it. You know, one of the biggest things I think we talked about was obedience, and the blessings that came from it, and God talking to us through the Word, and with us being able to see it manifest in our lives and our relationship.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful thing.
It's very beautiful.
The wisdom that we've gotten from saying that we're grown, we can do what we want to when we're alone with each other. You know, it's our business and that kind of thing. That comes from man. That comes from society, from movies, commercial. It's been commercialized so much that when you're alone with a woman, I'm talking to the men right now, that, you know, anything goes. You're grown, you're mature, you're on your own, you got your own place, your own job, you make your own money. Who are you? When you say that to yourself, I'm gonna say it when I say that to myself, because that was my lifestyle too. Who was I saying it to? You know, I have nobody to answer to. Answering to myself. There's always somebody you're answering to.
Yeah,
There's always somebody, and it's either right or wrong. You can think about it that way if you want to. When you become a Christian and understand the faith of Christianity and who God is, you understand that you either serving God or Satan.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. You can fix it up, dress it up any way you want to. You're either serving God or you're serving Satan.
Yeah.
He's a tempter. You got to understand that. Satan is a tempter. And he wants us to believe that happiness is physical. He wants us to believe that eating cake before it's done is okay.
Yeah.
Nah. What's that flavor they got now? Cookie dough?
Oh yeah, the cookie dough
flavor. And everybody loves cookie dough. You know, and I'm like, my mind said it's not a cookie yet. You ain't made the cookie.
You
It
can't
ain't a
eat that.
But,
Now vanilla.
you know, when I was growing up, my mom, she would cook cake. She's mixing the cake, the mixing bowl, and it had the things,
Beaters.
the beaters that go in there and
Everybody
missing
wants
each other.
beaters, yes.
And she would get those beaters, you lick those beaters.
Yes,
Oh my goodness!
yes, good
Oh, I
time.
love that so much.
Good time.
Mm.
Good time.
Yeah. Then you got to wait. Once you make that cake and put it in the oven, and you have to wait that, you can smell it, and it smells so good. You want that cake so
You
bad.
bet not open that
You
door.
better not open that door.
You bet not.
You bet not.
Yeah, you better not open the door.
If you open the door on the cake too soon, it'll fall.
It will fall.
It will fall. It might taste good, but it's not the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's not the way it's supposed to be.
No.
If you were to reach in there and take it out and eat it without the icing, it could be better with the icing.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing about relationships. If you do some things in relationship too soon,
Yeah.
it's not as good as it could have been.
Yeah, you might be forfeiting your
Oh,
blessing.
yes.
Yeah, this might be good, but then you had better on the road around the corner. So
Right.
waiting is the key.
It is the key.
Patience is the
Patience.
key. Yeah.
Yeah. There is some, we won't call it suffering, but it's more like growing pains. Don't think of suffering as a negative thing. Think of it as growing pains.
Yeah.
In time, you're going to get a better reward, a bigger reward. A reward that's made for a mature adult. Mature in, we're talking about spiritually, physically, mentally. And one, I think a lot of people fail to recognize maturity emotionally, when your emotions play a big part in your mental health. So you got the mental going on, the physical and the spiritual, but emotionally, sometimes we think we can handle things, but you don't know it until you go through something.
Yeah.
And when you go through it, and then you're like, I wasn't prepared for this. You wasn't prepared for it. Good blessings, something that God designed to be a pleasure, wonderful, can bring premature blessings, like a child out of wedlock, a child too soon in a relationship of a couple who didn't get to know each other very well, and they're just friends, and they got married or whatever, and they're having a child, and they're having to deal with raising a child now, taking on that adulthood, parenthood, and it affects their relationship. Not knowing how to talk to each other with a screaming baby in the background.
Yeah.
It's your turn. I'm sleepy. Change the diaper. What's that smell? You know.
Yeah.
But all those things can happen because we got to be ready first, and that's what it comes back to. We're talking about this cake. Let it bake. Leave the door closed until it's time to open it up, and then when you do take it out, then you can put all the icing on it you want. You know.
Yeah.
Call everybody in for the feast. Everybody's admiring it, how beautiful it is, and it's well made. Oh, that cake looks so good, you know.
Yeah.
And then, but after the ceremony, after the wedding, it's time you did everything right. Time to cut that cake. Did I say that? No, I won't say that. Yeah, I did say that. But
I love some cake, y'all. And please know that we're not coming at everybody like we're perfect, because we are talking from experience.
yes,
We've been on both sides, and we decided to do this right. We decided to do it the right way, and walk in obedience to God. And man, it has been wonderful. It's been a struggle. It's not like we're saying that we don't think about it, because we do.
yes.
We have intense moments, and we still have to make that decision that we're gonna stop here. We're not gonna
Yes.
go any further.
Time to go home.
Yes, yeah. And so we want to honor God in our relationship, before marriage and after marriage.
Yes,
During marriage,
during
Never
after, during.
during marriage. Yeah, before and during. We won't the blessings of God on this. We want peace in our marriage, just as we're having peace in our relationship right now. And we want the blessings of God. It has been such a blessing and a privilege to be able to withstand the temptation and not have that hanging over our heads like, oh man, we messed up, man, come to church and then it's like, oh man, he preaching at us, I think he knows, the Spirit must have told him. It's like, oh, I don't want that. And I'm so glad that we don't have that hanging over our heads. We don't have the distraction of premarital relations to keep us from acting on the things of God and getting into His Word and having that relationship with Him, because we know that sin is what keeps it makes a gap, and we want that gap to be closed. We don't want to be separated from God. We want to walk in His will and in His way every step of the way. We know that we need Him, and we're thankful to be covered and to have that blessing this time. So
yes, I love you.
I love you too so much.
For her to share this with me, to be able to get on here and do this videos like this, holding ourselves accountable in public, to do it God's way, to say it out loud, it is a blessing for me. I am honored, to be in this relationship.
Yes, it's
a definitely God appointed time in my life and appointed relationship. We believe everybody can have this.
Yes.
And again, not perfect, but to be able to say doing it right is not wrong, because society has always made things saying that what's right is wrong, what's wrong is right.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do. Being a man, especially growing up, with guys around who talked about a lot about how many women they had, how many girlfriends you had on the side, even married men, talking about what they got away with or getting away with. It was something that I knew wasn't right, and that peer pressure gets really strong. Yeah. And it's real now. It's real. Don't pretend that it's not. So to anybody that's hearing this word right now, that's saying that it's too hard out there, my buddies, everybody else doing it, and they're telling me to do it, and the women are coming at you. I understand that it is hard. Nobody's telling you that it's easy. Yeah. We're just saying that it's more rewarding to suffer through that.
Right.
And I'm using the word suffer, but it's really growing pains, like we said before.
Yeah.
But to go through that, and then on the other side, to be able to say to the woman that God does give to me, that has brought into my life, and say that, I'm abstinence right now. I'm practicing abstinence because of God. Yeah. I'm waiting on you.
Yes. Yeah.
You didn't just happen by and I stopped doing what I was doing. Yeah. And that's something that is so easy for men to fall to too, to be able to say, when I find that woman, I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
And that is not how it works. That's not how any of this works. But you cannot let that peer pressure control you, because God has created us spirit man too. So your spirit inside is the one that's supposed to control the flesh on the outside. Yeah. Who's driving, the vehicle? That's what you got to think about. Who's driving it? There are rules and regulations when you're driving your physical car now. You go down the street and there are lines in the highway. You stay on your side, they stay on their side. That's not, very seldom is there a barrier between you and another car. Without these rules, understood rules, people get killed. People run into each other, have accidents, get hurt, and people get killed. Same thing in life. There are rules and things that are designed to have a beautiful, wonderful life on in this natural time while we're here. And those rules, you follow them and be obedient to them, brings you what? Safety.
Yes.
Brings you joy. Gets you to the other side of the road. You're trying to go from point A to point B. You cannot be reckless in doing that. You want to do it by the rules. Yeah. The rules that you know are right. It's in your heart already. Right. If you have not accepted Christ already in your life, you still have that inside of you, that your conscience, that's telling you was not to hurt another human being, to stay in your lane.
Yeah.
And by doing that, everybody wins, you know.
Yes.
Even the person that comes at you, I'm gonna say with temptation, and to be able to say to them, no, I'm waiting, I'm standing in my lane. I don't have that ring, you know, I haven't put a ring on, I don't have the papers. So if you stay in your lanes and do things right, there are less casualties along the way.
Yeah. And
Go ahead. No, finish my thought.
and the thing about obedience a lot of times is it doesn't make sense in the moment.
Oh, right.
But later on down the road, you'll see that what the plan, in the plan,
Yes.
it makes perfect sense when you get to that point, and then you see the fruit of it. You see the fruit of your obedience. You're like, oh, now it makes sense to me.
Yes.
So yeah.
And that's a good point. You know, we brought that up in our teaching that time. It was, as a child, you know, you tell your children not to do this, not to do that, put that down. And they don't understand. It's good, it tastes good, I want to put it in my mouth, whatever it is, a toy. And they don't understand that it could hurt them.
Yeah.
But later on, as you get older, you're like, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to eat crayons. You know, you learn later.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It's the same thing in when you become an adult.
Same rules apply.
Same rules apply. There's some things that we don't totally fully get. Why God won't let me eat all the cake I want right now?
Yeah.
I want to eat his cake, your cake, their cake. You know, and there's a reason why.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you're only supposed to eat the cake that you made.
Yeah.
That you help, that you help put the ingredients into. It is your cake.
Yeah.
This is our cake we're building.
Yes. It's a beautiful cake.
It's a beautiful cake.
I love it.
And we love y'all.
Yes.
We
love
really
y'all.
do. That's why we're sharing this. Out of love.
Yeah. And we definitely appreciate you watching and hope that you have received from this. Make sure you leave comments and like, share our page, subscribe. We really appreciate the views and the comments.
Yes. And we'll definitely be doing more because we know that God is telling us to tell our story.
Yes, yes.
And we're telling our story.
That's right.
Yes, we
There's no fairy tale like this one.
No. This is our love initiative.
Yes.
And we are actually trying to spread it through the Word of God, how it comes alive in our lives.
Yes.
We're not trying to quote scripture like we're some type of experts on the Bible and the verses. No, we're just two regular human beings, a man and a woman, wanting to do better.
Yeah.
We want to do better, and it's hard, but it is so much pleasure in when we do get things right.
Yeah.
And right now we know that this relationship, we got it right.
Yeah.
With God's help.
Amen.
We got it right. We are
the
Browns.
All right, you guys. Thank you for watching.
Yes.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.